Two women accidentally end up pregnant with the wrong children. They're each carrying the other's child. The reason dates back a few months. Two couples came to the hospital for IF on the same day. Doctors first retrieved the eggs and sperm and combined them into fertilized eggs. Then the fertilized eggs were injected into the woman's uterus. However, a mysterious nurse intentionally switched their fertilized eggs. This resulted in both women becoming pregnant with each other's children. It was only discovered a month after conception. The president and doctors expressed deep apologies. The nurse who switched the fertilized eggs has already resigned. It can't fire the phone. The two women are struggling to accept the reality. The president is willing to compensate both parties for their losses, provided that they settle the matter privately. Because if this matter becomes public, the hospital's reputation would ruin, possibly leading to closure. The doctors proposed 3 possible solutions. The first option is for both to terminate their pregnancies and then try to conceive again, but abortion may cause irreversible harm to the women's bodies. The second option is for both to carry their children to term and then switch them for parenting. The third option is not to switch the children after they're born. It traces several. The two mothers need to discuss this before making a decision. Hongji initially thought about terminating her pregnancy and try again, but the wheelchair-bound Sakumi had Hongji in tears. She hoped that both could carry the children to term first, and she would have to give the child back for adoption. Because Sakumi's health is not good, the uterus was thin. If she has a miscarriage this time, it will be very difficult to conceive again. Sister Han always felt guilty because it doesn't feel to be biological since she didn't give birth to it. But under Sakumi's desperate pleas, Sister Han agreed. She decided to give birth to the child before giving up. After comforting Sister Han, her husband also comforted the wheelchair-bound Sakumi. Sakumi's husband was still working at the company. He rushed to the hospital after finishing work. Coincidentally, he saw his wife talking to another man. He seemed a bit jealous after seeing this. After understanding the whole situation, Nala expressed respect for his wife's decision. Because the couple has spent more than half a year to conceive this child. Nala also knew his wife's health was not very good. Sakumi encouraged herself to stay safe, to successfully give birth to the child. Sister Han's personality is passionate. She is used to a glamorous lifestyle. Even when pregnant, she did not hold back on being. She ate lavish meals and sweet sauce every day, while Sakumi meticulously took care of her body, basically resting at home. Basically, was a flame message 3 times a day. Teacher was on social media. Sakumi couldn't help but feel sorry for the child in her belly. It's not healthy for the fetus to eat this kind of food. Eating this is not healthy for the fetus. She called to persuade Hongji not to eat street food, but nothing seems to persuade her. 2 months later, both mothers came to the hospital for checkups. The fetal development is all normal. Hongji's husband was very excited to see Sakumi. He held Sakumi's hand tightly. He urged her to take good care of the baby. Sakumi assured him not to worry. She eats and lives healthily. Unexpectedly, this seemed that Sakumi's husband. He immediately walked over and grabbed his wife's hand. Hong appeared a bit nervous. He spoke stammeringly. Nova was very busy with work. His wife hoped he could spend more time at home. A day, as soon as her husband left, Sakumi suddenly experienced severe abdominal pain. She even fainted on the floor. Fortunately, Nava's assistant helped call an ambulance. Through receiving the call worked, Nava did not rush to the hospital first. Instead, Han was the first to visit Sakumi at the hospital. The doctor said Sakumi's condition was just a normal reaction of uterine expansion during pregnancy. It's nothing serious. Just make sure to rest more. Han's anxious heart finally relaxed. After Nava finished work and rushed to the hospital, he happened to meet Han just coming out of Sakumi's ward. Nava felt uncomfortable. He then took his wife home to rest. He apologized for not taking good care of her during this time. Promised to take more time from a wife in the future. Actually, Nava has been hiding something from his wife. He and Hongji have known each other for a long time. Not only are they college classmates, but also first love. They broke up after graduation due to work reasons. They lost contact for over 10 years afterward. He didn't tell his wife to avoid misunderstandings. Now Hongji is a strong woman in her career. Nava's company is troubling and close to bankruptcy. To save the company, Nava even knelt to ask Hongji for help. Thus, by a twist of fate, the college lovers unexpectedly reunited for work. Sakumi monitors Hongji's every move at work through social media. She saw coffee and chips on the table. Sakumi was furious. These are all unhealthy foods. Not at all healthy for the baby. Meanwhile, Sakumi eats very light every meal. Nava and Hongji are busy with work all day, so Hongji took some time to have meals after shopping with Sakumi. He even bought my baby supplies in advance. Nava and Hongji are workaholics. They work late into the night without going home. Hongji and Sakumi brought special nutritional meals for pregnant women, but Hong didn't want to eat any. She was used to eating fried chicken and fries. More bold cabbage didn't excite her appetite at all. After persuasion from her husband and Sakumi, Hongji gradually got used to the plain meals. A month later, the hospital suddenly issued a notification. A mischievous nurse who swapped the embryos was finally found. She kinda apologized to both parties, pleading for forgiveness. She claimed it was just a moment of confusion. She made a mistake that led to this situation for 2 families. It turns out, the nurse acted out of revenge against Hongji. She had brief encounter with Hongji before. On a day a year ago, Hongji and her husband were invited to her ex-boyfriend's wedding. The bride was this nurse from the hospital. Though she had long broken up with her ex, Hongji still harbored jealousy and resentment. Overcome by emotion, she fled the table. To protect the princess cake, the bride disfigured herself. Subsequently, Hongji and her husband were expelled from the wedding. Her husband asked why she did that. Hongji said her ex was a scumbag. They had deceived her in their relationship. The nurse, feeling her wedding was ruined by Hongji, harbored resentment and swapped the embryos in revenge. Now things have escalated to this point, and can no longer be salvaged. Both parties agreed to reconcile. After all, Hongji made the first mistake by ruining the wedding, and the most unfortunate ones are Sakumi and her husband. After returning from the hospital, Nava invited Hongji and her husband to her parents' home for dinner. Her in-laws were excited to know their grandchild was in Hongji's belly. They kept serving Hong, showing her warmth and concern, while ignoring the daughter-in-law next to them. The scene was quite embarrassing. A big family party was held that evening. Sister Hongji was saying that, but the introvert child sat nearby in a daze. Before long, they reached the 8-month mark. Both fetuses were found to be very healthy. Thinking about her child being born soon made Nava very happy, but Han and Zhang were the gleeful world of joy. They all hoped for a smooth delivery. After returning from Zhang Wai's room, Brother Han hugged his wife tightly. He showed the ultrasound and said their baby is very healthy. Sister Han is truly a workaholic. She was still working overtime with an 8-month belly. That day, an accident almost had everything fall on her. Fortunately, she only suffered minor skin injuries. After the incident, Nava was by rushed to the hospital. They urged Sister Hong to stop working, to stay home and wait for the baby to be born safely. As a result, Shawna had quarreled with Sister Hong. Shawna felt that Sister Hong was selfish. If anything happened, their child would also be affected. However, Sister Hong was hot-headed and wouldn't listen to anyone. What if it was double begin? Oh no, and Sister Hong's personality to take care of her child. Not that the care Sister Hong's was meticulous. Shawna's sister came to the company after hearing about her sister's troubles to stand up for her sister. Stand up for my sister. Give Hongji a long scolding, but Hongji isn't faced by her anger. One slap leaves the other speechless. Then the sister went to report to her. Saikomi, filled with anger, could no longer bear it. Prepared to confide Noah to Hongji. Hongji faced many people's doubts. Her inner defenses began to crumble. Even though she usually appears strong, she is still a woman. She is a pregnant mother. She works hard just to earn more money to buy that formula for her child in the future. While Noah comforted Hongji, Saikomi happened to see the scene, which led to a misunderstanding. Without a word, she turned and left. Noah immediately chased after her to explain it was just a misunderstanding. But Saikomi's outburst was not just about this. The satisfaction with her husband had accumulated for long. Saikomi drove to her best friend's house instead of home. Only here could she find sympathy. After this incident, under her husband's persuasion, Hongji finally decided to pause working to arrive at home and take care of the pregnancy. The next day, Hongji took the initiative to apologize to Saikomi and promised not to go to the office anymore. The two mothers reconciled, gently caressing each other's baby bumps. Tears of joy flowed. However, on the way back, Hongji had an accident. The taxi collided with the truck due to illegal overtaking in the tunnel. Hongji hit her hand on the window and fell unconscious, and blood was dripping from her leg. At the same time, Saikomi received a call from the hospital that Hongji had an accident. After being stimulated, she fell down the stairs and fainted on the spot. So both pregnant women were rushed to the hospital. Soon, family members arrived at the hospital. Anxiously waited at the entrance. The doctor said both pregnant women were temporarily out of danger. The Hongji's uterus was severely hit and bleeding. The fetus' internal organs may have been damaged, and immediate cesarean section is needed to assess the situation. Otherwise, the baby might not survive. With the consent of the husband and Nawa, the doctor decided to perform the cesarean section immediately before the surgery. The husband and Nawa entered the ward for a final visit. Because the doctor said there might be a risk of severe bleeding during the surgery if something goes wrong, this would be their last time seeing Hongji. Hongji was aware of her situation. She apologized to Noah. It was her dedication to work that led to the accident. If there's an accident during the surgery, the data must be prioritized first. Noah comforted Hongji that everything would be fine. Both mother and child would be safe. After waking up, Saikomi didn't care about her own health. Immediately asking about Hongji and the baby in her belly, but the husband told a kind lie. He told Saikomi that Hongji and her baby were safe. Before the surgery, the lead doctor provided psychological support to Hongji. See, such a handsome doctor! Hongji felt a bit more comforted. After the surgery began, the doctor successfully delivered the baby in just a few seconds. But just then, Hongji experienced severe uterine bleeding due to placenta previa. Her blood pressure dropped rapidly. The doctor took emergency measures to stop the bleeding and transfuse blood. Almost simultaneously, Saikomi suddenly felt severe pain in her abdomen. It was possible to deliver prematurely. The nurse immediately took her to the operating room. What coincidence! The two mothers not only conceived on the same day, but also gave birth on the same day. Meanwhile, the two fathers nervously went back and forth between the two operating rooms. Saikomi's parents-in-law were praying at the temple, hoping for a safe birth for their grandson. In the operating room, Hongji lost too much blood and her heart stopped. The doctor immediately performed her. A baby's cry suddenly filled the nursery. Maybe Hongji heard the baby's cries, and a tear ran down her cheek. Then, Hongji was revived. Both babies were also safely delivered. The doctor recorded a video of Hongji's baby, so she could see her child as soon as she woke up. The doctor also silently stayed by her side until the patient awakens and is out of life-threatening danger. The two dads finally showed smiles. Then Navala and Saikomi reported they were safe. The couple happily embraced each other. But the state are premature. The two children are still in intensive care. Parents can only see their children through the glass. Saikomi's tears instantly wet her eyes. Although it was a tumultuous journey, at least the children were born safely. Hongji is still resting in the hospital bed. Hongji's heart raced as the handsome doctor examined her. The nurse brought in a breast pump. Hongji, a first-time mother, had no idea how to use it. After trying for a while, nothing dropped, It was finally the nurse who helped her to extract half a bottle of breast milk. Both mothers had their babies for the first time. It felt truly magical. Yet Hongji unconsciously looked at the other baby, because that baby was the one born from her own womb. The doctor noticed Hongji was silently crying. He knew she couldn't bear to give her baby away. When no one was around, Hongji would secretly visit the ward to see her own baby. I did this start. Both mothers took away each other's children. Hongji actually felt very reluctant. After all, mother and child had experienced life and death together on the operating table, but now she must part with her child, because it was a promise they had mutually agreed upon. 6 months later, both children grew up healthy. Saikomi's child is a girl. Memon's big eyes are very cute. Both parents really like this daughter. Sister Hong's child is a boy. Her husband also really likes this child. Sister Hong is usually busy with work, and supposedly her husband taking care of the baby every night before bed. Sister Hong always checks Saikomi's social media to see her own child. Although a few years passed, there is still no letting go, and Saikomi secretly checks Sister Hong's social media as well. Her husband noticed Saikomi's feelings, so he asked the doctor to help arrange a dinner with Sister Hong's family. When Nava brought her daughter in, Sister Hong felt pain in her heart. It was the first time in half a year she saw her own daughter. Nava said she left her phone in the car, asking Sister Hong to help look after the child for a moment, deliberately placing the child in Sister Hong's arms. Then Saikomi also came in and saw her son. Sister Hong's husband handed the child to Saikomi. The two mothers held their children for the first time. The doctor saw that they were still finding it hard to let go. So, under the doctor's mediation, both sides decided to co-parent the two children. They formed a happy family of 7.